Welcome to the Energy News Beat podcast. My name's Stu Turley, President and CEO of the Sandstone Group. We are live at NAPE, and I mean, this is absolutely blast. And I had a dear friend of mine come by. He has been on the podcast before, got fantastic feedback, and we're going to have a general energy discussion. But do you want to know what is going on in the market? Do you want to know what there is going on? He has phenomenal reach and insight.
Wow, that's impressive, Stu.
I'll tell you what. Hang on, buckle up, and I'll probably re-record this intro. We just did, Dan. Yes. We just did our 500th publish of an article this year.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that fun?
I love it. That's a milestone. Half a milestone.
Milestone. And we also had over 1.1 million downloads of the podcast last year. We've had over 7.5 million reads of the transcript published articles. I got great feedback on our other one. We had so much fun. I'll tell you what, Dan, you're with ComboCurve, but you're also just an industry thought leader. You had an event that you just did. What was that about?
I did. So we had an ENB symposium. We had different groups from within the oil and gas industry get together, land, business development, reservoir engineering, asset management, finance, and I did a deal evaluation on a set of wells with refrac. So we did a refrac model and the story of these wells. We had 2 refrac candidates. In a team environment, we had 5 teams evaluate these things, do a fair market evaluation, as well as an assessment and pitch to a board. The board was stellar.
We
got some great people. That was entirely volunteer. And our next event is in Dallas, February 13th.
No way. What's on there?
Same story. Deal evaluation on the board. We got some really killer people.
Yeah.
Water Capital, 3P Capital, we've got US Dev Corp, we've got some Noble Royalties, really cool people, senior level people to volunteer their time and listen to a pitch, and people learn from that discussion. Have you thought about the land cost? Have you thought about this? Why do you model it this way? And that dialogue is actually really golden because you don't see this in a board setting. You're not going to see this. You're not going to learn this in school. So that was sort of the goal, is to get people to collaborate and then hear what the executive team, the ones that have been through hundreds of deals, say, yeah, I've heard this before, but what about that?
You know, Dan, I'm so excited about this because what this is doing is one of my passions, and that is helping people learn the new technology stuff.
Absolutely.
So this gets the younger generation involved into all forms of energy. And there's this product out there called ComboCurve that we use on our evaluations. We use well database. We bring that information in seamlessly. And the staff over there with Armando, and I love his podcast.
Oh, nice.
But I want to share, this is cool because there's a shortage of people that are excited about coming in.
Well, it's true.
And so that program, how do people find you to do that program?
Man, reach out to me on LinkedIn, Google ComboCurve Dallas event. The cool part is it's a hands-on event. It's not lectures. It's not a panel. You're going to get your fingers on it. You're going to be able to run it. You're going to have people there that have done this part before. And from the banking side, you're going to have people that will help you advise you on how to build an evaluation that you can literally pitch to a board. Again, this is really, really cool stuff, hands-on. You're not going to get this anywhere in the industry. So that's why we do this. This is our 4th one. The Dallas is our 4th one. We're going to have one in Denver and Oklahoma City. And hopefully Tulsa next. So,
you know what? We are doing the homeschool project, and we're taking, since we're working on getting funding for the programming, because we're blowing this thing up. And what we're going to do is take all of our content, create tests, curriculum, make it affordable for the homeschool market, the apprenticeships in the like helping the unions out there, trying to get technical jobs and give people experience. And so this is going to tag into what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. These are things that will complement any engineering curriculum, no matter what discipline you're in. Even if you're in the IT world, come and play, come and talk to people, learn the dynamics of why different people in different parts of the industry need to talk to one another.
Right.
And those intricacies. There's not a class on this in college. There really isn't.
No.
Hands-on, and it's networking and relationships, being comfortable to talk to somebody that you don't understand what they do just yet, but ask those questions. What are you doing? How are you doing this? Why does this matter? And then listen and hear what people have to say.
Oh, and the judges,
awesome.
You're not only the mentorship is so cool. I'm sorry for getting all excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting excited because you get the mentorships out there and you get the older people like me, and you help get that knowledge transfer.
Absolutely. We've got the CEO of Colleague Gillespie, Todd Booker, and he's going to be one of the judges. And you can tell these judges want to give back. They don't have a lot of time, but how do they get engaged in these type of venues? They can get engaged. They can talk to people. They can share their knowledge. And then they can get on to their day job, the things they have to do for a living, right? To make their business successful. I want the successful people to talk to my crowd, to other people, to get them excited about what drove them to do certain things, right? And this is what we'll learn in these processes.
Put you on the spot.
Okay.
Good. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. You lumber?
I am.
Okay. When you were on my podcast, a few days after the podcast it came out, you were at a dinner or a lunch and somebody came up to you, right? And they said, "Hey, I saw your podcast."
Yeah, it is fun. This was so I volunteer with the SP Business Development Group in Houston. Somebody came up at that event and said, "Hey, I saw this event you did with Stu. Stu has great depth and reach." And he's like, "I just wanted to say I learned something." And this was really, really exciting for me because this is somebody out of the blue that saw my name and is like, "Hey, wait a minute, Stu, we did something. We did something interesting." Absolutely. No, it was really cool to engage people. And the number of people I have coming up to me saying, "Hey, I'm interested in learning this," or "Would you give me some guidance?" I love giving an opinion. I mean, get a lot of opinions, ask people things, but don't be afraid to engage people that care. And you'll learn some things in the process.
You know, Dan, I have so been happy getting to know you and learning from you on the industry. And our passion, because I'm saying our passion.
Yes.
We got a little bit of mobster in us to try to get it out of.
That's right.
And I just love what you're doing. And I love the technology that's out there as well, too. So what do you see coming in the overall industry? Because you're traveling all around the world.
I talk to a lot of people. Automation's coming, more deep AI type technologies are coming to fruition. They're kind of cool today. They're going to get better. Right. This is really the infancy of that whole technology and workflow. We do have a lot of automated workflows. ComboCurve made its claim to fame because we're automated, we're easy to use, we're intuitive. We can do a deal evaluation in an hour that would have taken 7 days, 10 days. I mean, literally that fast. It's going to get better. It's going to get more automated. And the fact that I can script and run workflows that fast, now I'm just going to start my own sensitivities. We're going to do massive sensitivities, and then the engineers are still needed. This doesn't replace engineering knowledge, but it'll allow the engineers to dive into the specifics in more detail and understand the data and the trends. That's what matters. That's what you want these experts to do. The geos need to be there, the geophysicists, the reservoir engineers, the production engineers. That combination working together in an environment where what I call conversational analytics.
Right.
I want to have a conversation about the data and tweak that data model and see the results while we're talking, while we're having a conversation. And that technology is here today. It's just got to get pulled together in some more depth.
I'll tell you, what's fun is when you take a look at the change that's going on in the energy market. Occidental Petroleum has probably set the curve. We had the BP Beyond Petroleum, and now they kind of swung back, and they're now going back to their roots. You have Total Energy, Tex is not so good. They bought enough natural gas plants in Texas to power equivalent of 2 nuclear reactors. So they're now putting money in kind of quietly.
Uh-huh.
And then you have BlackRock and everybody. It's okay now to invest in natural gas and
It is.
LNG.
If I'm going to put some money in, I'm going to get into this natural gas market, right?
Great.
Because now's the time. It's the commodity prices are not where they need to be.
The
Right.
number of LNG tankers has gone through the roof.
Right.
They're sold out, baby.
Right.
Isn't that nuts?
Don't buy on the high side, buy on the low side. That's my argument.
And so it's here to stay, and it's no longer a transition fuel. And the cool thing is that it's lowering the carbon footprint. I'm going somewhere with it.
It is.
Occidental, they actually have they went, instead of going renewables, they went into the carbon sequestration, the carbon capture, the carbon tax kind of a thing. They can actually, through their whole portfolio. And if you're listening out there, I'd love to have her on here to talk.
Absolutely.
And
that would be fun.
Oh, it would be. We'll have to do that together.
Yeah.
Now, so when you sit back and look at that, that's why Warren Buffett has bought more millions of investment into Oxy, because the federal dollars for tax credits, the ability to do that. And I think ComboCurve has something called
ComboCarbon. ComboCarbon. It's all about modeling carbon exposure tied to your reserves program and your development program. I have separate databases.
Right.
We're integrated technology wise.
Right.
Don't have two sets of books. Right. It just a bit more headache. And it also makes people collaborate. Right. You've got the ESG side, you got the production field engineering side.
David Blackman walking by. David Blackman.
But you have these integrated models that will enable people to integrate. We always, as a senior level person in an oil and gas company, you want your teams to collaborate. Well, you could edict it. You could try to put people in place to do it. Put processes in place that enable the conversation. I want my field engineers to run economic models using concepts from my reserves database to understand improvements for hydrogen sulfide, for carbon exposure, using the same data that the company already has at its fingertips. Yep. Don't do it in Excel.
No.
Right. Excel's a proof of concept.
And with the legislation through regulatory processes that our current administration is going on, which is despicable. I'm going to do my presidential imitation. Despicable. I'm not sure if it's Yoda. Are you going to be worried? Anyway, that regulatory process on the methane, being able to track it, being able to measure it, being able to account for it, is going to cost a lot of money unless you have the tools in order to do that.
Use the process and automate what you can, and understand that you will have leaks. You deal with those, you monitor those, but now we can model those and say, how did I improve? And again, in a common database, common solution, I could say, where was my baseline? How much money did I put in to improve my facilities? And where am I at today? And why? And you'll be able to document that journey as you develop an asset.
I talk to CEOs. And they ask me, they'll ask me, okay, what do you guys use? I use this tool. I use this tool. I use this tool. I don't have my hands on ComboCarbon yet. So I can't
let's set up a model on one of your assets of choice and I'll go through it.
Oh yeah, right.
We'll talk about it. But the fun part is with just like ComboCurve's base platform, it's an easy and intuitive, and in a few minutes, we can model some of these workflows and just say, here are the outputs.
I would love to see the bolt-on.
Yeah.
So, but when we sit back and we take a look at that kind of integration and the openness of ComboCurve makes a difference. Because when a CEO is asking me for a deal eval, and he's saying, is this actually a good deal? I don't care. I don't push the button. I got a team to push.
You have the best engineer I have seen. Mr. Taylor has been golden. I love his energy. I love his energy.
Oh, and I'll tell you, I don't know who's more excited about him, me or you, but I'll tell you what's fun is on our podcast, we will sit back and take a look at those, but a CEO will ask me on my staff as well, and they'll sit back and say, hey, wait a minute, what about this? how does this happen? And I want to give a shout out to Jay Young as well.
Jay's golden too.
Isn't he great?
Absolutely.
And Jay has been one of the ones that asked me and says, hey, what about this? He does not care about anything unless it's information that he can give to his investors. And he is a typical CEO. And when you bring data from the SCADA and you bring it from the wellhead through to the investor,
that's right.
You'll drop it off in account,
right.
And you give that information to the CEO for thought leadership. That matters.
And
nothing else.
Absolutely. So they can have the knowledge of the models and see the sensitivities. And the key sensitivity, what happens if you do price tag changes? What happens if you do, what are your expense models change? What happens if this tax comes in? You can run all of these simultaneously and have that output. And the C-suite can talk intelligently about the assets, saying, here's the window.
Right.
Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I got a window of my price point that I understand we're not going to be economic, we're going to break even, and we're going to make better offers. We're going to make better offers and be more comfortable about them, less risk.
Absolutely. And Michael and I on our deal spotlight on Saturdays or Sundays, and we're rolling through this. He's a hyperactive rat child, and Miss Mama T, I love you, so don't get mad at me. Papa T, don't worry about it as well. I love the Tanners,
right?
But they spawned a hyperactive rat child, and he and I just not on the week.
I love working with people like that because they have passion.
Yes,
that's the give a shit factor. It's like, if you don't give a shit, I'm not sure I want to work with you.
No.
But the people that care, the people that truly, truly care are people you want to be around, you want in your world.
Yes.
Those are the people that you could feed off of.
And the fun thing about NAPE, the excitement yesterday was phenomenal. I mean, we're probably going to crank out 30 podcasts all the way through the NAPE. But the feeling, Dan, was so cool of like NAPE being back in deals.
Oh, yeah.
RT and Pecos operating were in our booth as well, and they were talking deals. And then we had Well Database in the podcast talking to CEOs. And I love John over there at Well Database and the partnership with them. They are supporting us like you wouldn't believe. I love it. Cool.
I love it.
And we've actually gotten some great feedback from them because when we do the deals, we can export directly into ComboCurve, and they've been able to show us some things by working with us on things that help speed that up. That kind of integration with a technology company makes a difference.
Absolutely. There's a lot of neat workflows we can deploy, and they do make a difference. And when you need them, you have them at your fingertips.
That's right. So if executives are out there and they're kind of frustrated, disparate systems between accounting, your geologists, sometimes they don't talk so well together.
Different set of books,
right?
And there's not a mechanism or a reason for them to have a conversation. Exactly. Send me the data. I want that PDF file. Give me the spreadsheet. I'll import it. ComboCurve has transformed companies at certain levels because of collaboration. It's a tool that enables collaboration. So you don't have to put process in place. You have the people that can actually collaborate using the same data, leveraging that knowledge of workflows to make better decisions in your organization without the C-suite saying, you guys really should talk more.
And I'm going to be quite honest with you. We have EMP operators reaching out to us that want to work with us, and I won't do it. I'll take a look at their deals, and I don't want my name on it. Right. And so I need tools.
Yeah.
If I don't get support, I don't want you.
Oh, that's claim to fame for what we do as well as the support side.
Your support is pretty darn good.
I'm going to make an outreach on the mineral management side. Mineral funds, we have a mineral initiative, and mineral workflows are so impressive. To do a screen, do the evaluation, to price something. The key is you can actually spin off a copy of an investment portfolio. Your investors can touch it and look at it and play with it.
Michael and I have had to do some in about 15, 20 minutes, and I'm serious. They're like, this is the other CEOs like, oh, give me that.
I want that.
And I'm like,
I'm going to make one shout out. So personally for me, I started a program called F3. And it's a workout program, no cost. Google f3nation.com.
Okay.
But it really transformed myself and my perspective on certain things. But we get together Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday mornings when you have time, 5 a.m. We meet as a group, men only, right? No cost, and you have a bonding faith, fellowship, fitness.
Nice.
And we work out cardio traditionally in a parking lot at a park or a church for an hour. You have that bonding. If you don't show up for one day, they're going to reach out and you say, hey, you doing okay?
Hey,
but I've been doing this since
where are you, man?
October, and it's really changed. I've seen changes in myself. So I'm going to reach out to people. Think about F3, Google it, find one in your area. They're all over the world.
Oh, cool.
And it's such a game changer. So that's my personal testimonial.
I'll tell you what, the entire energy sector, the entire oil and gas sector, they're on the front lines. Hug alignment.
Amen.
I mean,
Or landman.
Landman, absolutely.
Landman is the friendliest people I've ever met.
Oh, but you know what's nice is when you sit back and you take a look, they're delivering the lowest cost kilowatt per hour, and the inspiration that I get from like the Steve Reese's of the world,
Yes,
the Keith Stelters of the world,
yes,
the WP Warrens of the world,
yes,
that are out there. Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
that helps me because I've had down days.
Yeah,
and I've been in.
I don't believe it. You're always so happy. Always.
I play poker very well.
That's what friends are for. To pick you up.
You bet.
And inspire you. And I have a network of people around me like yourself.
Yep.
I call Stu up and then he answers the phone. I'm like, as busy as Stu is, it's like we talk and it's like really meaningful. So thank you for sharing with me personally, because I really enjoy the discussions that we've had offline as well as online.
And hey, he's the guy. That was almost my Putin imitation. There we go. So I don't know. I've been warned that my Putin imitation is horrible. So the CIA is not going to tap into me for doing a good CIA imitation. Well, Dan, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Nate has been wonderful. Thank you for having me, and I always enjoy our conversations.
There's more things you and I are going to talk about like next week.
Amen.
So
God bless you. God bless everyone. Thank you.